Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. So you could be studying, trying to research something, just trying to figure something out. There could be something that you go over and over again, but it's like no matter how much you go over the rules of this particular thing or understand this particular thing, you're not really on board with it. You bored. That's another thing. You could be bored. So you could be bored while you're doing something that you're supposed to do or it's supposed to be a good investment. So could just be like sitting in class and like you don't know what the fuck the teacher's talking about. You're not with it. Oh, you feel like you know everything. That's the thing. That's what's going on here. You feel like whatever it is that somebody's trying to tell you, you already know that. Yeah, but whatever this is, you could just feel like you've done a lot of study in something on your own, and so the people who are trying to give you instruction, they're not really challenging you. You're not being challenged in whatever environment that you're in. So what's the problem? Are you looking for other ways to amuse yourself? Let's see. What's going on? You're bored. That's what I got. Okay. I think there's something that you need to think about and realize, which is that it took a lot for you to get here. It took a lot for you to get wherever you are. So you could be in a space where, like, wherever it is that you have gotten to, that's not challenging you. It's given. Did you see that movie Soul? With it was a cartoon movie with Jamie Foxx. It was this jazz musician who had wanted to be like a full-fledged musician for his entire life. And he went through a lot to get it. He was like mean to people. But before he got, I don't know, it felt like a wasted life because it's like before he got to that position, that's all he could focus on, right? So he was bored with the people, places, and things around him. He couldn't really engage with his environment because he was always focused on this career, this drive, this thing that he had to do. Once he finally got the thing, it wasn't even that exciting. So he was like, damn, I sacrificed all these friendships, relationships, all this time that I could have been focusing on something else, or just all this time I could have spent enjoying my life, really. Like all this time I could have spent outdoors, enjoying nature. But instead, I spent it cooped up, you know, blowing on the saxophone because I thought it was going to do something. There's something that you are making it bigger than what it is. You're putting too much um, emphasis, too much pressure. You're putting too much power into the thing, and so you're bored because you spend all your time doing this thing, or you. There's something too about the people who try to teach you, or the people who try to be involved in this with you. Maybe they're doing it for the love, like maybe they really enjoy it, um, but you don't because you take something so seriously. um and it's because you have dreams, right? You have dreams, and that's what's on your mind. Ooh, did you see that episode of the Cosby Show when Vanessa and her friends wanted to start a singing group? So Cliff and Claire bought them singing lessons from this like amazing vocal coach who had like taught all these people. And Vanessa and them, they wanted to be able to sing everybody's doing a brand new dance now, come on baby, do the locomotion. That's what they wanted to be singing, was that locomotion song. But she had them just doing the scales, bee boo 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 ba bee bee boo bo, something like that. And they were mad. They were like, we don't want to do that. We don't want to sing no bebop bebo. We want to sing the locomotion. So it's something like you want to be way further ahead of this than you are. And because that's what you're focused on, you cannot see the benefit in the basics. And then there's this question maybe that you're starting to ask yourself, which is, if I'm not even enjoying the basics, do I really want to do this at all? So maybe this could be some new thing that you tried to do or that somebody advised you to do, or it's an opportunity that somebody gave you that maybe you didn't really ask for, you didn't really seek out. Maybe you thought, okay, but this could be good enough or something like that. Or it could also be this kind of thing to where, yeah, I'm just getting, you gotta walk before you gotta crawl before you walk, big baby. Because this could be too, like, you have this big dream, you have this thing that you want to do, and it's not really paying off right now. It's not really panning out right now. And somebody could have offered you or is going to offer you a new opportunity just to do something in the meantime, maybe to like build your skill set or something like that, and you don't want it. You don't want it. You want to stay focused on your dreams and your goals. This could be a test, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a test from God to see if you really are focused on what you say that you're focused on. There could be something that's boring to other people, but it's not boring to you. So maybe there's something that's not exciting to others, but it is exciting to you. But there is just an issue of like repetition. Yeah, because you're being advised to take something slow. You're being advised to appreciate the process. You're being advised not to rush into anything. And I feel like this is an environment, there's some sort of energy or environment that's coming around you that does want you to rush and hurry up. So this could be somebody like say if you have your mind focused on a particular dream and somebody says, no, but that dream's not panning out. I have this better opportunity for you. This is actually saying resist that. This is a process, okay? And that's your problem now. You impatient. You impatient. So as soon as somebody tell you that something is not going to be exactly what you expect, or something's going to be more involved than what you think, you lose it. You get impatient. You remind me of my son this morning. We was doing homeschool, and as soon as I had him rewrite his letters, he huffing and puffing in a tantrum because it's something that you just want to be easy. You just want it to be quick. You just want it to be simple. It could be this reading. You just want me to hurry up and get to the point, right? But this reading is just saying some things are more involved than that, and you're being asked to trust the process. You like somebody that you want, you want meatloaf dinner, but you got hot dog patience. I see it when I see it. But it's these days and times you living in. You in hot dog water life. You're in this environment where you, or this space of mind where you just expect things, real quick to happen instantly. It's that TikTok, it's that damn social media. It's like our mothers used to say, it is that damn phone, because that phone be having you have this immediate gratification, and it's entitlement. You feel like you're entitled to be entertained. You're entitled to feel fulfilled all the time. You feel entitled to feel like you always tasting something sweet, you always doing something fun, you know. But life is not always about that. Sometimes you, like I said, you got to crawl before you walk. There's a certain amount of expertise that whatever your desires are, they require from you. But maybe you don't want to have to be the one to make decisions. I think that's what it is. You like to be guided. You like to be directed. You don't want to have to be the boss. um It's something about energy, spark, impulse, curiosity. You want to stay. Sorry, the phone is tilting. You just want to stay in this space where it's like you can kind of do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. You don't want to have to commit. You don't want to have this could be somebody who's like out of school, and maybe you don't want to have to go back to school because you know that then it's your days are going to have structure again. It's something you want, but you don't want to do what you got to do to get it. But like I said, your advice is to take it slow, because slow growth has the best results. Anything that happens really, really fast, it doesn't last. And I feel like you want something to last. Yes, you have the emperor as the outcome. You need stability. You need structure. That's what this reading is trying to tell your ass. You need structure. You need a schedule. You need to start writing stuff down. You need to start planning more. You can't just be flying and doing things all around willy-nilly by the seat of your pants. Maybe you could have when whatever it was that you were dealing with before, maybe you could have been a very unstructured person, right? But whatever this new level that you're going to, this new responsibility that you're going to have, this new area of learning that you're entering into, this new job that you're getting, the maybe you're just getting older and people are requiring more of you. And the thing that you need to realize, the thing that you need to remember is wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, it's only going to get harder. It's not going to get easier. It's only going to get harder. It's only going to require more of you. You will be required to be more responsible. You'll have to know more. You'll have to do more. You'll have to have more output. You'll have to receive more input. You'll have to receive more people's opinions. Is all of it is very involved, and it's only heading to more. So maybe instead of wanting to rush there and being so impatient with people, you should just take the time to like appreciate the pace that God is setting for you, because I feel like this is a good pace that's being set for you. You know what they always say, how God don't give you no more than you can handle. But it's like right now you're asking for more than you can handle. So if you're in a space where you do feel bored, or you feel like you're not being challenged, or you feel like something is too easy but it's also not enough, it's you're just in this weird like malaise state. You need to appreciate that. That's actually God giving you a break right now, because I feel like pretty soon things are going to kick up, and they might be, you're just going to have to, you're going to have to say no to a lot more. You're not going to have as many options as you have right now. You're going to have to make a lot more decisions. And so why rush into that? You know, that's what this is saying. So whatever it is right now, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, this is giving like you're starting a really hard job, but like the first week, all they're asking you to do is watch HR videos, but you're still getting paid your full salary to do that. Okay, why rush past that when you need to know all this stuff for this work environment, but you just want to rush into the hard shit? But it's like the hard shit is gonna be there. Why rush into that? Oh, you worried it's not gonna be there with this Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, but it is. It's not going nowhere. What you want is not going nowhere, and you really don't want to move too fast. Okay, so I don't think I got nothing else to say. Bye.